Well met, adventurers, and welcome to our flagship episode of Knights of the Sound Table, a generalized podcast about D&D, you and me, and everyone else in between. I am Game Master Shade, but today's not just about me. It's about everybody else that makes D&D special, and that includes these wonderful people I have with us today. We'll start with some of the staff and people that make the Luck Roll Chronicles what it is and the future of how it will be built. Starting with our wonderful recording specialist, one of two, I will roll a dice to see which one it is. Imagine D&D and rolling dice. How novel! Devil, that would be you. You willing to give a little bit of an introduction?
Absolutely. Hello to anybody and everybody listening. I'm Black Devil. I like to be called Dev or Devil. It's just a little bit easier that way. I am the director of this podcast, and I am also one of the recorders of the podcast. Also worked with Shade for a little bit, so I know a little bit about him, and I know a little bit about the people that he brings. I am one of the people in the group that don't actually play D&D, but that does not mean I can't give a little insight from the outside. So, with that being said, go ahead.
Thank you so much. And I can't look, it's going to be wonderful having everybody get a chance to really know each other today and talk. Thank you, Dev, for starting off so wonderfully. That brings us to our next wonderful recording specialist for the day, Kai. If you would, go ahead, tell the world a little bit about yourself.
Howdy, everybody. My name is Kai. I play a little bit D&D, not yet with Shade, but keyword there being yet. But I'm also the recording person. I do a little bit of editing and a little bit of everything, just depending on what I'm free for. But I absolutely adore D&D, and I have a lot of fun listening to the other people playing, and I can't wait to join them sometime.
We look forward to having you when you have opportunity, and we thank you for every effort you have made to help not only the Luck Roll get off the ground, but to help gather some of these wonderful folk here today. Since that's some of the general staff, we start with our extended staff and also some of our player base. Warlord, if you would, tell the world a little bit about yourself.
Hello there. I am Warlord of Gondor, aka Jack Blackman in Interstellar Dystopia, and Ali Taylor in the Evernight Saga. And I've kind of been here since day one. I am a content creator on TikTok um, through my social Warlord of Gondor. I also write on the side and play video games. So if you want to check out my content, you're more than welcome to. But for the most part, I am here. So that is all about me.
And we're glad to have you here and glad to hear you're such a well-rounded individual. You have offered amazing opportunities through D&D, both as me, the DM, to watch you, and also for some of your other players. You guys have piggybacked some amazing events, and I hope to tell some of those stories here today. Moving on to one of our next players, someone who spent just as equal amount of time here as a warlord, Cody Rose. If you would, please take the stage and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name's Cody, or Cody Rose. You might also know me as Celestia from Interstellar Dystopia, and maybe another character in a upcoming session. Hint, hint. Um, yeah. So I am a artist for the server here. Some of the artwork that you guys might be seeing soon, or probably have already seen, is probably some of my artwork. Depending on where you look. I also run cool studios called Cody Rose Studios, involving art and animation, and just really trying to help people find their place. So yeah, that's pretty much a lot about me.
And we appreciate you being a part of the works here, both the works you do at Codio Studio, which I've had a chance to help be a part of, and some of the things you've done with D&D and some of your artwork. Currently, our server icon, as well as some of the things for Discord and our Spotify playlist, include your artwork. Our other artist, who's currently unable to join us today, but they have contributed to some of our thumbnails and our splash page, would be E.B. Wright. And hopefully, we'll have them here to join us one of these days so they can tell us a little bit about themselves. In the meantime, we have one other special guest with us today, a recent player to one of my games, but somebody that I'm finding a truly honorable gentleman and someone I cannot wait to know even further. Gur, if you would, tell the world a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. My name is You Bet Giraffe Icon. Cross the internet. I don't really post or do anything anymore, though. For Luck Roll Chronicles, though, I will be playing the character Farum in Interstellar Dystopia. He is a golem who has fused with Mars, essentially. And then for Sound Table, the podcast, I will be playing the character Connor Roland in his entirety. So take it away.
Appreciate that, bud. Whether you're doing a character for one of our reads or just being yourself for here, today is a day to enjoy how D&D works for you and the world and everyone in between. Thank you for literally taking the time to introduce yourselves and to share a little bit of yourselves with the world before we get going. So our first conversational topic of the day is actually going to be something you guys generate. A little bit of how's your day been? Talk about some general things in your life, some catching up, giving you a chance to tell the world some of the things you have going on, not just the things you've done on media, but what you do as a person. Again, we'll start with a dice roll because, again, how novel. D&D. Dice and you and me. As long as don't fall off the table. Oh, one. Oh, how beautiful. Normally, I don't like those.
Okay, if it's a one, I'll go. No.
Ironically, the one is your position because I'm going by who's in my Discord call overlay currently. So, Gur, I know you said you don't do a lot of posting on your social media stuff nowadays, but what is it you are doing instead?
I'm being a father of a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old, and a
Aw.
increasingly better husband every day for my wife of 8 years now. So,
Aw.
A respectable goal. A very
besides for that,
respectable goal.
I'm just I'm trying to bring in the next 6-year-old chaos gremlin DM into the world. So she draws
Highly
on my map and
respectable.
she plays with my little things. So the little miniatures. And
Oh,
stuff.
does she?
Oh
that is
yeah,
heartwarming.
I have
Oh,
her. She
goodness.
built. She has built a character. Their name is Glinda.
Oh, you got to start them young and teach them the wonders of D&D from an early age. Otherwise, it's
yeah.
not going to stick, I swear.
Yeah.
At some point, please feel free to share like little images of some of the artwork, and we'll be glad to show them on our socials.
Absolutely.
Like, get her out there a little bit. Like, if you're comfortable with that, of course. I mean,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
a dad.
yeah.
I'm going to respect the boundaries.
Mhm.
But we encourage everything to you. So, oh God, yes, that is so wholesome. Where do we find wholesome people? Goodness, aisle 3. I don't think we had them in stock. Holy hell!
I'm a one and
Oh,
only type of
goodness.
character. You'll find that out very quickly.
I can highly respect that. Oh, goodness. Dev, that is you up on the dice. So, Dev, what is it you've got going on with you when you're not, kind of keeping an eye in the background and helping whenever you're available?
I do an assortment of things from video games to sleeping, but really on the in between of that, I garden and I bake. Those are my main two hobbies. I don't do too much when I'm outside of school except for hang out with my friends, play games, garden, and help around the house with my family. I'm a pretty regular individual.
Nothing wrong with being the good old fashioned homegrown, okay? I can appreciate that. I come from farmer stock myself. There's nothing wrong with the simpler things in life. Cooking, gardening, spending time with your family, those are some of the most wonderful things you can have in this world. And especially things that don't cost you an arm and a leg to do it.
Oh,
So you're not going to see me argue. What's one of your favorite plants that you have growing right now, by out of curiosity? I'm a little bit of a botanist myself.
My favorite plant right now, I have a tomato plant. I don't remember what specific tomato plant it was, but it just produced 2 tomatoes for me, right? And I've been trying to get a taste for tomatoes. I'm not a big fan of tomatoes. They didn't taste right to me, so I decided to do it myself to see if I could get a sense of a taste, and I kind of did. I can eat tomatoes on things now, but I can't eat them by themselves. I did grow 2 nice looking
Understandable.
tomatoes though. Nice and red, plump, no bruises, no scars, nothing. Beautiful.
Beautiful. There actually may be a reason why you're responsive to those tomatoes. I recently learned that everybody's biogenetics, right, which includes how your taste buds are receptive to things, are going to have micro differences between how every single fruit and item is based on its molecular composition. There might be a sugar that is produced by the tomato, since it is a fruit, that might be interacting with your taste buds, giving you that negative reaction. What led me down this line was the unfortunate of cilantro. I don't know if anyone here has this particular problem with cilantro, but to a very select number of people, if you try to eat it, it tastes like a bar of soap.
I've heard about that.
I've also heard
Yeah,
about that.
Yeah, it's a genetic mutation. It's like 10% of the world globally is affected. mostly when people that don't have it eat cilantro, perfectly normal herb, kind of like thyme, rosemary, sage. But for those that are affected, it is kryptonite. Like it'll
I
take
hate
anything that's
cilantro.
great and just
I hate it.
see, you're one of those people that have that, and you're not the only one. Because unfortunately, anytime I taste cilantro, I look at the cook and I go, "Why you gotta do this to me? You could have been somebody. You could have been a contender. You had to ruin everything on this plate with your cursed plate." I get it. Oh gosh. But no,
I've
seriously,
always
thank you for-
enjoyed the taste of cilantro, but the smell of
So you're in
cilantro
the 90%.
sends me packing. It smells horrible. Like it smells dry. Like I don't know how something can smell dry, but it like takes the air out of me.
And you actually put the head on the nail there because there's a chemical that's produced by it that literally removes oxygen.
No wonder. I'm not surprised.
Very similar to what's called the kudzu vine, as a matter of fact. One of my players showed a little bit of research into this. But it's a plant that literally produces localized ozone, which robs oxygen in the nearby area. Humans that try to burn it to get rid of it actually wind up suffocating by accident because it takes the oxygen right out of the air.
Whoops.
Wow, so but it grows everywhere. It's an invasive plant. It's all over the Americas.
Oh yeah,
all
we
over the
have it
place.
all over where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Careful if
Right,
I
you
just
nightmare
like
plant.
grow
especially.
cilantro.
And it's a Japanese
I
plant
didn't
too.
have to deal with that when I was a core member.
Blame Japan. Not really, but seriously, it's a Japanese plant.
That's it. I'm blaming Japan
Yes.
now. It's over. You've ruined me. I have to
It
blame
grows
Japan.
at least a foot to 3 feet a day.
Yeah, it's worse than bamboo, and bamboo can grow real fast when it wants to. Okay, let me see who's next up on my till. Cody, you're my next one up. Your dice has come.
2 seconds,
So
I just
what's
spilled my drink.
Oh no, a
Good job.
two.
Oh.
Too bad for
I
you.
No,
got, I got excited because you called me and I was trying to put my cup down and I knocked it over.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh,
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cause a fluid issue.
Now I got
No, don't
lemonade
say it
all
like
over
that.
myself and all over the chair and the table.
Goodness. I mean, we are at the sound table, so it's a perfect place to make a mess. But empty.
I was gonna say, it looked like I pissed myself. Anyway.
First edit of the night, here it comes. But
I
seriously,
haven't even
aside
started making jokes yet.
aside the devolution to laughter, which is going to happen so much. Oh, this is going to be fun. Cody, aside Cody Rose Studios itself, what's some of the other things that are going on with you? What other interests do you have that's outside of your work?
Well, I like to enjoy a lot of music and stuff. I'm very much a music and theater person. So I go out of my way a lot to do like a whole bunch of karaoke, a whole bunch of like theater stuff. In high school, I actually was in 2 different productions. I was in Sister Act, the musical as a background nun, and also in Lucky Stiff, the musical as ensemble. But I only got to do it for 1 day because that production I didn't have that much of a transportation to. But it was super fun while it lasted. Um, I also draw a lot, even though I know that's, related to stuff, but I, used to do commission artwork, didn't make too much money. Now I just use it for, most of my work stuff, but I also just do it for fun. And I partake in Art Fight, which is a fun thing that I would like to start doing every single year. Which if for those
Very
who
cool.
don't know what Art Fight is, it is basically one of the world's biggest art trade events for free. You would attack somebody on the different team or somebody even on your own team with artwork of their character, and they would attack you back with artwork of your character. So my profile picture right now on Discord is actually a art fight attack that I got of my character Celestia that I play in Interstellar Dystopia. And I loved it so much that I just decided to make it my profile picture now.
So it's an artist version of Tag, but with higher stakes.
Yeah.
I can just imagine the high stakes. Give me your pencil. You're not drawing today. But I have to compete. Yeah.
If I'm not
This art fight,
mistaken,
somebody's going to have to go away with a missing hand.
if I'm not
Other than
mistaken, Art Fight
other
has
than
two
that,
teams, right? Isn't it like Crystals and
yes,
Fossils this year?
yes, this year it is Crystals and Fossils. I myself am on Team Fossils. I did not choose to be on Team Fossils. I chose random, and that's what I got, and I thought it was really funny.
What team's winning?
Can't imagine why.
Fossils. Fossils is winning.
Ah, okay.
I can't imagine why fossils and our campaigns would have anything related to them. Why that'd be funny? Not at all.
Last thing I would like to say is that I do
Yes.
work right now, and I do work at this really cool job. I work at a theme park, and theme parks are usually really cool. Um, I do a whole bunch of things for them in their entertainment district. They have character performers, they have different like mascots for the park, and I really love to just do my job and make sure that the kids are happy and stuff. And that's how, I got into the entertainment district in the theme park was because of my theater background and also because of my education background. What most people don't know about me is I was supposed to become a paraprofessional after high school. But,
Hmm.
Hmm.
I somehow ended up
Another very
here.
well. Hey, life takes you in odd directions, and this shows you're an even more well-rounded individual than some of us may have previously known. Thank you for sharing some of that about your life.
You're welcome.
Let me see. That leaves 2 left on my list.
Yeah.
Whoever shall be next.
You want to rock, paper, scissors for it?
I got the rock, paper, scissors around here, funny guy. Give me a minute.
No.
1, 3, 1, 3, 5. It's you. 2, 4, 6. It's Kai.
Yes,
Why do I have the
even.
Warlord.
Huh? Why do I have the odd ones? Odd one out, I guess.
Uh, literally, it's just how it is in my head. You got a D6. You got to split the line somehow.
I have a weird obsession with even numbers, so I'm happy.
I had no
Well,
idea that.
It's funny that my lucky number is 13, so I guess I am the odd one out.
So aside the
Did
oh
someone
god,
say
that's
odd
funny as
ones
hell.
out?
Did somebody say oddballs? No, if we could go down this line 100 times over. But Warlord, tell me some of the things that are going on in your life outside of the things you do for TikTok. Some of the things that you find passionate. Tell us a little more about you behind your general interests.
So, one of the first things about me that kind of really started me on this path towards D&D and all these different types of things and getting out there. I've been writing for almost, I think I have been writing for 14 years at this point. Yeah, I have. But I've been writing since I was in 8th grade. Actually, on May the 4th, 2011, which is ironic because that was Star Wars Day. And a little bit about the kind of stuff. So my English teacher was talking about mythology at the time. We had been for the last 2 weeks, and she mentioned that Star Wars was a mythology, and so that kind of got the ball rolling. I was like, well, I think I'm going to make my own mythology, and that's kind of what I've been working on, and it's been branching out into different things, and I'm really passionate about it. It's been a lot of rough drafts, and there's a lot of stuff that were unfinished and still are, and lost to the ages, and it's something I've really been passionate about. But I get the occasional writer's block. I get caught up into my TikTok life and getting into gaming and hanging out with family and friends and that kind of a thing. But I always come back to that. Whether it's just writing a short story or something about a character that I have or from D&D or whatever. It's something I always love to do, even for other people, and share it with the world. And eventually I will. Just a matter of when.
When's always that magic answer, and we can tell that you are an extremely creative person. 14 years worth of writing. that is literally as old as some children that are I can make some reference to. But literally, you've been writing longer than some people have been on this planet at this stage as we're talking. And people that'll find us in the future, maybe their kids will, find some of the information. So to the future writers out there, what is a message you'd like to give to them that they can maybe take forward in their lives?
Just because a project doesn't sound good or you think it doesn't work doesn't mean it's not worth writing. For sure. Keep trying, keep branching out, keep trying different things. And, putting it off is probably one of the worst things you can do. That I can definitely say. So keep going, keep trying, you know.
Absolutely. Cody, absolutely. You can go ahead and put a word in here before we have our next little what's going on in your life moment.
I mean, like I kind of mentioned, I, do Cody Rose Studios, and our first project right now is Love Siren. I originally wrote that back when I was 12. So as a kid, a lot of people did tell me, "Oh, nobody's gonna read that. Nobody's gonna like watch that as a show." And I was like, "I'm gonna make it happen." And now I'm finally, making it happen. So like, same thing, don't let anybody, tell you you can't do something, or don't let anybody tell me that, "Oh, that's not gonna tell you that, oh, that's not gonna happen," because, you know, a lot of people now are making it happen. So yeah.
Exactly.
Abs- Absolutely. If you're going to chase a dream, you're going to chase it to the end, right? Devotion and dedication is what sees any goal you're looking to achieve come to fruition. And that, I believe, is a beautiful segue to Kai, our last to do a little thing about the things going on in your life. So, Kai, my good friend, why don't you go ahead and give us a little peek behind the veil, if you will? What goes on in the chamber?
The chamber of my mind. um,
Well, I could say the
Honestly,
chamber of your D&D, like, but what you got?
that works too. Uh, I'm oddly boring in some sense, very crazy in other sense. I've decided to work 2.5 jobs while also being in 4.5 campaigns for D&D, which is so much fun. Also ended up meeting Shade and doing all the things that I do here. And when I'm not doing that, I'm either petting my cat Ash, who is adorable, or I'm trying to get back into doing color guard and winter guard. So making up routines and shows, 2 different songs that are going on in my head. Sometimes I also make stories based off of those, but I like doing the color guard routines as well. Kind of like Cody and Jack, I do Warlord. I do enjoy writing. I just don't publish mine.
Understandable. And there's nothing boring with as much diversity as you seem to be going on. 2 jobs, 4.5 campaigns by your own statement there,
Yeah.
dealing with helping us out, which I greatly appreciate when you do, and an adorable cat at home that you take care of. That is still a fairly loaded plate.
I'm a chronic overworker. It's just a habit. I enjoy doing what I like being busy. My dad has a saying of idle hands to devil's playground. I take that a little too seriously.
Hey, the devil's in the details, and I've always got a magnifying glass. I understand where you're coming from there.
But
But seriously,
I always have fun just doing anything I can. I like staying busy. I like being able to be creative in some way, shape, or form. And that's really why I like D&D.
I think that's why we all like D&D here in one way, shape, or form, whether we're playing it, watching it, helping to make content about it. It's that connection to others, that story, that moment of being a part of things, right?
Hmm.
And there's our segue for our actual big topic of the day, first one. D&D and me. What the game means to you as either the DM or the player. Now, this is a bit of an esoteric statement, an esoteric idea. So, I'll go one at a time. The general topic of the day is as such. You've been playing D&D, or you're familiar with the idea. You're kind of listening to this podcast. You're here with me as a guest in one way, shape, or another. So D&D has touched your life in one way or another. Whether it's been a climactic battle that has left you mentally scarred with nightmares, or a beautiful romantic option that you saw that has left you with good dreams and sweet hopes for the future, and everything else in between. D&D has done something for your life. So, I want to talk about that. I want to understand how you see the game. And yes, you will notice that I'm not doing a big old hop to do about who I am. I'm a simple guy. I don't need to do a whole lot of that kind of stuff. But for those that are actually interested, I'm a stay-at-home dad, disabled. I do D&D on YouTube here with the Luck Roll Chronicles. I work with a wonderful group on YouTube known as Dungeon Delvers. I work with a wonderful group on YouTube known as Roll for Real with Dungeon Dueling. I've been meeting some amazing content creators through TikTok, through YouTube, now starting out on this kind of thing. That's how I met every one of the people that are here. And this podcast wouldn't be happening today if it hadn't been for D&D crossing into my life 30 plus years ago. That started me down the path of wanting to be, well, I originally wanted to be a player, but unfortunately I have a condition known as forever DM disorder. I think some of us have heard of this unfortunate disease where we're handed a handbook and can never get from behind it. I was about 6 years old when a cousin of mine slapped this giant book to me because it was a big old comically sized book compared to most, and it said Player's Handbook 2.5. And he looks at me and he goes, "Go ahead and read this. We're bored and we need a bard." So the next day, I learned how to be a bard, and then the day after that, they said, "You're funny as a bard. Why don't you tell the story instead? Our DM's kind of boring," which, yeah, he was, but. I took over being the DM and started telling the most fantastical kind of stories based off of cartoons and video games and stuff of the time. I grew up through the 80s, I grew up through the 90s, I grew up through the 2000s. D&D has changed so much along the way. The people that I have met along the way have helped to change D&D for me too. I don't do traditional D&D very well. Those that have played with me or those who see the content, I don't do the whole run the module, follow the story, A, B, and C option, pre-planned. No, thank you. I'm going to give you a story raw every time you're with me. You're going to get ad lib off the top of the head based on what you guys are doing. So the story is alive. A concept that is alive is like a real living entity. You feed it, you water it, you protect it, you help it to grow, and it will show you dividends of creativity that you never believed would happen. That's just my stance. D&D for me, funny enough, it's how the world actually works anymore. All life, in one way or another, is a drama. Whether it's a drama on the screen, a drama in your friend group, a drama on your phone, a drama down the street where people are arguing because they couldn't get their hot dog from the 7-Eleven. All of life is these moments, and they can be inspirations for things you can bring to others. You can give life to fantasy and create a new reality. To me, D&D is an extension of reality because you have to, for a little time, put aside all of your pain, all of your sorrow, all of your trauma, all of your history and your stress to do something with a group of people with a like-minded idea. To have fun, let loose, act, game, be people outside of all of the things that make you who you are behind the table. That's my shtick on it. So I'll roll to see who's next online. Oh my goodness. Grr. Or
Once again.
do you have another thing you prefer to be called out of
Connor,
curiosity?
Gur, Giraffe. Literally, it doesn't matter. Just whatever you fall into. You can call me anything you want, but don't call me that.
Just don't call me Shirley. I
Just don't
understand
call me
entirely.
Yeah,
So-
Connor's the real name. Gur's the picture. Giraffe is the word. So
I get it entirely. So since you're
you can call
showing
me
us who
Luck Roll
you are.
Chronicles.
I love that. I love that.
Oh, take the name
So
for
Luckrow
myself.
Chronicles. Luckrow Chronicles, the actual. No, seriously.
Right, yeah.
Connor, what exactly is what is D&D to you? What does that mean to you? Like, are you more of the type that's been on the player side of the line? Are you one that's been behind the DM's bench yourself? What does the medium of D&D mean for you? I'm going to give you the stage.
I have a very unique introduction to D&D, I would say. I had lived in the Midwest. I lived near Chicago for 30 years. No problem, nothing. Never even thought about D&D. Thought it was for nerds, you know what I mean? Wanted to go see the movie. Was excited for that. I had been moved out for work out to Michigan. And when that happened, I fell into a pretty deep mental depression. I felt my mental health completely snap. Ended up going into therapy. Some of the people I ended up meeting here, funny enough, we're all huge D&D guys, and I was just hanging out at the local game store around here, and they had a D&D night. So I went to go like check it out. Never heard about it. Never really knew anything. I mean, I knew what it was, but I only really ever knew from like Stranger Things and Big Bang Theory, and like I maybe had played once when I was a kid and under the influence of something. But it was really fun to try it out. It was really fun to put yourself in a new person's character, to put yourself into somebody else's mind for a couple hours. It's an escape for me. I'm a very big I live through a lot of escapism, and that to me is nice to be able to deal with. It's funny because you're dealing with your real world problems in a fantasy setting under somebody else's mask, in the best way to say.
Absolutely.
And so it's really helped me through a lot of trauma. It's really helped me through a lot of like the mental health stuff. And funny enough, I actually put a lot of that into my campaigns to kind of help I don't want to say like help other people through trauma, but like maybe help keep them in that mindful mind space a little bit. And it's kind of fun to watch them flourish through it. So I've been more of a
understand.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I'm much more. Through my career, I've been a DM way more. I've probably only been playing for 3 to 4 years, and I've been a DM for 2 of them. So at half, I've at least been a DM. So, and I'm gonna end up being a forever DM, I feel. But I still do try to find a game or two that I slip in as a player, just to keep it fresh.
I understand. You got to have them skills, and that's one of the reasons why I was glad to add you into Dystopia. Obviously, I could see that you have a flair for storytelling and bringing characterization to life. So I was more than honored to let you step into that universe. And you're right, D&D is very much a therapeutic tool if you allow it to be. I've been using D&D myself to go through a number of different things throughout the years. At times I was low, at times I was high, at times I was with a partner, sometimes I was not. Through all those highs and lows, the one constant that was always there was D&D. So I totally get it. Escapism is an important tool because we as people need it. We need that breath, that moment of nothing is on our shoulders to live. And D&D gives you a moment to just not be you. Take the entire veneer of all the things that you hold yourself up with and just be like, no, I'm going to be a silly little goblin who throws bombs and makes people laugh. Right?
Yeah,
It's
my
true.
final
You
decision
can
on
do
it was I wanted to be. I will eventually be a piece of toast. That's my whole character idea. That's it. That's it. I don't have anything else. So once
At
I do
some
that,
point,
then that's my
remind me.
career.
Like, you're dusted. You're fine. You can retire. Go out on a high
Yep,
note.
retired. Yep, Peyton Manning this thing.
That is so good. Now, I can't say that I've ever had the idea of having a character become toast, but I did create a literal living nightmare to anyone that enjoys good food, especially those that enjoy good
Oh.
Slavic foods. To those of you that are familiar with the golden delicious item that is known as a pierogi, or a pirog when it's by itself, I created the pierogi mimic.
You did not.
I certainly made my own stats for one, you bet your ass, and they have multiple sizes. I love how the instant response is, you did not.
You will know.
You're taking good food and making it a mimic. I will fucking eat the mimic
It's
if I'm the
D&D.
player. You can tell me it's a mimic
This
and I
is-
will eat it.
I know, it's D&D. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's like the pie demon, but actually workable. But seriously, aside the joking, thank you, Connor, for sharing your perspective, both as the DM and having a chance to share those stories and being in some of those stories yourselves and getting a chance to resolve some things. Thank you for taking time to show us who you are behind the book.
Absolutely.
That brings us to my next person in line. Let me roll the dice and see who's up next. Fingers.
Who's our next victim?
Ooh. Cody. Cody. Calling one Cody. Is anyone there?
Help! Oh, anyway, I'm here. Um,
Help! Save me! Are you okay? You need a rope?
I'm fine. Um, so funny enough, I was introduced to D&D a while back, actually in around sophomore year of high school. My school announced that they were doing a D&D club. Now, did I know what D&D was? Absolutely fucking not. Well, I've heard about it before from my uncle, but like I was like D&D okay. What is that? Um so
Okay.
my friend at the time, um I'll just call her Rabbit Girl. She was
Okay.
very into D&D and stuff, and her father was co-running the club with one of the teachers. So she kind of convinced me to come to the club. And for me, there was too many people. There was over like 30 players in this one campaign that went on for almost 3 years. We never finished the story. We never finished the story.
We were
And it's
only
so bad.
halfway.
No, I don't even know how far we were. All I remember was there was this dragon and the tower was on fire, and there was this one goblin dude who was in jail, and he was like, "Do you want to know why you're here?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Be kind of helpful.
Like,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I've been wondering that for the past hour.
Yeah, like
For the last 3
anyway,
years.
anyway, and that's where I actually built my first character named Astoria. And I used the same character for like 5 years in most of my
Like a Fabius.
campaigns. In most of my campaigns, and she always comes back. She was a sorcerer paladin, and she was super silly. She was a little country bumpkin kind of girl. Um,
That's a
but
mix.
and she was also an elf. So
Oh.
Now that's a mix. Okay.
I'm not even
Country
gonna comment.
bumpkin paladin. Sort.
Ugh.
By the power of corn, I smite you, evil wizard. No, sorry. I'm sorry. It's the first thing came to my head. I'm
she
so
was a
sorry,
sorcerer
but I'm not sorry.
paladin. She was
I was about
double
to say, you're
class
Hold my beer.
before I
Oh,
even knew how to double
oh,
class.
You get advantage
even
on
better.
it
Hold
if
my
somebody else is
moonshine.
holding.
You're gonna smite me, bastard.
You get advantage on it if somebody else is
Oh
holding
my!
your beer.
Oh, that's great.
But disadvantage
Now,
on you
obviously,
because the joke.
Anyway,
I might be
um,
drunk, but I can still fight.
oh, that's
I'm
great.
lit.
So,
and then
please
and then
tell us more.
sometime in like December, I joined a D&D group with another person and continued to still use the same character. And finally officially learned how to use character sheets and stuff, and I just started to build and build and build till now the point I know how to play as a player. I'm in at least 4 different campaigns as a player, and I'm going to be starting a 5th campaign as a player also soon. And then I will also be a DM for my own campaign.
It
So
spirals, doesn't it? You just start and you just keep going.
I can't stop winning. Anyway,
You win at D&D?
um,
I have a different experience.
I can't stop dying.
There we go.
Oh, it's beautiful. That is beautiful. Um, thank you for sharing us a little bit about that character. Is there other experiences with D&D that have really connected to you besides just like having a character that's followed you? Because that seems to be like a trope of certain people, whether it's an NPC or a character that they made for themselves. there's always something that follows from the past. So, like, what other stuff about D&D has really followed you in your journeys? Is there any like funny stories from a campaign you want to share, or is there like a preferred class that you have at this stage of your D&D career?
Definitely most magic types, a lot of like druids and sorcerers and stuff is definitely the kind of characters I play. Another thing is, and I don't mean to sound sexist here, but I only play females. I only play
And that's all
females.
right.
Your
That's
preferences.
I can't
that's a
play a
comfort
dude
thing.
for some
That's your thing.
reason. I just feel like I can't portray a man very well.
Oh God, is it the opposite of
enough.
that? No, seriously, is it the opposite of the Aerosmith song? So it's instead of "Dude Looks Like a Lady," it's "Chick Looks Like a Dude, Bro."
Oh,
Chick looks like a new
Okay,
girl.
exactly. So Aerosmith back in the day had a beautiful song that they were using to actually make fun of Motley Crue, known as "Dude Looks Like a Lady," because of the sheer amount of times Motley Crue said the word "dude" in Steven Tyler's presence. So the entire
dude.
reason we have that song is to make fun of the Motley Crue. So to me, it's just a recycled joke. Oh, good. But yeah, what other things about the D followed you? I'm curious.
I mean, there is a recent character that, you know, I recently made and am now playing, Celestia. Um, a lot of stuff about her character, um, a lot of her character lore is actually some in real life trauma stuff that I went through. So, um, it's very kind of like special to me and very close to me. Um, Celestia has a not hatred for men, but a reason to distance herself from men because of a father that she grew up around who was supposedly very evil and very like dark and stuff. And you know, I also had a father who, you know, wasn't the best. He was always the best dad, just never the best person. And so I took stuff from my life and just really put it into the character. And, you know, she recently had a conversation in our last session, which will be coming out probably like soon. It's like a while back now. um, but yeah, she had a conversation with another character that I feel was very developmental in her character stuff because, you know, getting to know her better.
And in getting to know her better, you'd say you're kind of getting to know yourself a little better as well, right? Because that's a reflection of who you are. You're using parts of your history, your story to create a character. So it's a reflection of who you are at that time, or at least parts of who you are at that time, right?
Yeah.
Respectable. Everything D&D has a connection, okay? Like, it's been a while since I've talked about this topic, but pardon me for beating a dead horse to those that have heard this. However, D&D is in every single part of your life, as is improv. From every conversation you've had at the grocery store to every time you go to the restaurant, whether it's to the library or to anywhere else in between, you have to make up what you're saying to people on the spot in the every day to day. You have to come up with what you want to say to anybody in any given moment off the top of your head. D&D and improv are literally those two things. You have to consider what your character is going to say off the top of your head at any given moment in that moment. If you can make that connection, D&D becomes like breathing instead of fighting the game, if you will. That's just an old thing, but it ties very well with your perspective. So thank you for sharing it. Seriously, Cody, thank you. Brings me to my next person for today, as we only have a number of others left on the line. Let me roll the dice just to make sure everything is copacetic. Devil! Devil, you said previously that you don't really play D&D, but you've been in the circle around it. So what is your perspective of how D&D has interacted with you?
Yes, I have never. I played D&D. I took a couple steps towards doing it, but I could never really get my hands around it and like work it like the magic that you do. Even with my creative mind, and I mean I'm not always creative, but I can get to a point where I like I go I go places. But I've never played D&D, but I've experienced a lot of D&D, and I do enjoy watching D&D or helping with any of the bits and pieces that come before, like story building, organization, and I also did a little bit of recording, editing, and uploading some of the videos to the previous YouTube. D&D has always been more of an entertainment kind of setting for me than it has like coping mechanism or like an interest. Like it's really I really like it because it's entertaining and I like that people enjoy it. I see a lot of people playing it having fun and like just fading away from a reality that they don't want to be in, and that to me like makes D&D really interesting. That's part of the that's part of why I like D&D. That's what D&D is to me. It's good.
The mystique.
But
It's got that little mystique, that certain thing that draws you.
yeah, really it is. It's that little bit. It's the fact that D&D can bring so much joy to people that really interests me in D&D. And it's really when it comes to my family part of that, it's really just me. My mother really thought D&D was kind of strange, which isn't strange because she's really old. She started with don't people worship the devil that play D&D, and I was like, no, I think that's just I
Oh,
think that's the other
Me,
people.
that's not how hot the DM made him.
It is Satan.
that was that was the 70s, man. It was a different time. We are from a more civilized time.
Yes, much more civilized. I can play D&D and worship the devil on my own time without it being D&D's fault.
It was from a more
you
civilized
can
age.
you can industrialize. You can branch out. There's various
Satan.
bitcoins.
Yeah.
We have Hellcoin currently on dock. I mean, it's going up meme by meme. That's beautiful. But seriously, I can understand where you're coming from though a little bit. All right, before I had been into a D&D as a player and as a DM, I had been fascinated by my cousins playing the game, listening to them like in hushed voices behind the doors, giggling whenever they do something they would think would be funny. You know, a couple of jocks in the room. Oh, you beat him in the head real good. Oh, you know, that kind of stuff. Like as a kid, I found that hilarious. But being on the other side of it, bringing that experience to someone, it was eye opening, realizing exactly how far D&D can go with either you, the person, or the viewer, or both. Whether you get a chance to listen to the story, D&D is literally an audio drama. It's a book in the making. It's a story being written live as you go. The concept of a living story to me is more fascinating than a pre-written work.
And I find that amazing. I have no more input, so go ahead and give it to the next person.
Okay, so by my mathematics, that technically would leave Kai, and if I was going to say anything else, myself, because I think we've gone through everybody, unless I've missed someone. Please feel free to correct my old ass. I am a fossil.
You haven't mentioned me yet.
Okay, thank you. Again, I'm going. Wait, eh? Old man has old moment when, but
All the time.
yes, because I'm fossil. I will roll 25. This is why I was checking, so I knew who I still had the roll for. But okay. And ironically, your number popped up on the dice. Jesus, it's like you knew. It's like you knew. Oh god. So Warlord, with the fact that you've come and gone from some D&D stuff yourself, I don't know your full story about that, and I'm curious as to where your story with how D&D itself came to be in your life. So tell us a little bit about that. Walk us through what gave you the ideal of throwing dice as an entertainment.
So I'd say maybe 4 or 5 years back. I was usually by myself, as it usually was. But anyway, I watched. It's a free network called Pluto TV, and
Mm-hmm.
they had D&D campaigns. I can't remember. They had Critical Role, but they had another one, and I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. But that was the main one that I watched, and it really got me into it because it was like maybe 6 to 7 people, and they all had a good time, and there were people that came and went. The episodes were random, but it was a good time from what I understood. And about 2 years into that, um, I had met a buddy of mine through a group, um, specifically an autism group. Yes, I am autistic. It's out there, but anyway, not the point. So I met him in person about maybe a year in, and he and I started getting into a comic shop called what was it? And I can't even think of the name of the comic shop. Anyway, they were doing D&D sessions. CM Games, that was the name of it. CM Games.
Ah,
And anyway, they were doing D&D sessions. And I had talked with him about it, and I was like, "Hey, you want to do this?" Because he was my ride. Anyway, and he's like, "Yeah, we can do that." And of course, we went and did it for maybe 3 weeks. It was a session a week, and they closed down after 3 weeks. It was in a mall, and it turned out the owners of CM Games did not pay their rent and hadn't been for 2 months. So they had to
ooh.
foreclose and move out of the city to another one an hour and a half away and put their store there. So that was for a while the last time I ever played D&D. Of course, during that time, the character that I played, because I played 2 characters, I actually switched the first character, which was a Viking barbarian, Sven Skarsgård, to my Drow Eldritch Knight, which is the first time I ever played a spellcaster in any kind of sense, and
Not
he
the best
died.
part of it. Ooh, what
So
happened to
yeah,
start with?
so
Right
I
till
didn't.
the end.
That was the last bit of it. Yeah, that was the last bit of it, and so it was my buddy carrying my character's corpse at the end of the session, and so that was the last I'd ever played in person. Um, in
Oh, good.
really in person. So I started trying to look for other options because they were like, "Oh, we can go to the DM's house," and I'm like, "I don't know this guy from Adam," and it's like, "No." So they're like, "Okay, well, we can go to another company, not even 30 minutes away." And my buddy was like, "I'm not driving through all that traffic." No. So we were out. So that was the last he ever played, and that was the last I ever played in person. So I started trying to look for online options. And I went into Discord, which I had formed a Discord not long after for this very reason, so we could communicate, okay, when we have the next session, that kind of thing. Anyway,
Right.
and I tried to look for different sessions there. I found maybe 1 or 2, and it didn't work out so well. One of them, the guy was sick all the time, and so they couldn't really DM. They didn't have anybody to replace, so I was out of there. The third time, the people were all nighters, and I was not going to be a part of that because I had other people to contend with, or other people to consider in my household at the time. So that was out.
Reasonable.
And then I ended up finding you guys. And so that was the first time that I have ever gone past a session 2. So session
I
delta to
see.
be more specific in this case. So, and I've had a lot of fun with it. And it's the first time in a long time that I've ever actually had a session, and I met a lot of good people. So through it. And it just happened by chance, as you well know.
Entirely. One of the reasons why I named the server and named our YouTube channel the Luck Roll Chronicles is quite literally because luck is an ever changing item. It is something you will be battling with the rest of your life, whether good or bad. And those that find me by chance, I try to give a safe space when possible. some things have happened. Life changes people, but we're on the good path. And I'm honored you're one of the people that managed to find us. You have brought a lot of life, both as Jack Blackman and as Allie, which the others do not know a lot about Allie Taylor yet. They'll have their time when we have a chance to debut the campaign. So this is a chance for our listeners here to get some behind the scenes if you decide to listen. Our second campaign that'll be coming to Luckrow Chronicles is called The Evernight Saga. It's an interesting little story. And when we have more public time, I'll make sure that you get some information. But that's all you get for now, so keep it to yourselves till then, guys. No, really, tell everybody. We want to know. We want the world to know. Tell them all. Get it out there. Get on the bullhorns. Watch the Luckrow Chronicles on YouTube and Spotify.
Somebody give me
Seriously.
a pen and pencil.
Write this down.
I don't have the paper, so I'll write it on your back. It's
Oh.
gonna hurt really bad.
That's
Let
what
me
say
get the
pencil
mirror and a
pen.
prayer.
Ow.
Oh no, it's going to be a pen and a mirror and some prayers because it's going to be all squiggles and ain't going to look like nothing. Did
Talking
you write
about-
down the plans?
Anybody
Oh,
Talking
you gave
about-
me a
new
thought.
artists?
You gave me the thought. Guys sharpied his whole back. He thought he's got like the escape route. They trick you off his back. There's something like a disconnected bunch of squiggles that has no start or end. If Prison Break had been done by a crayon. All right. So Kai, as the last person on the list to tell us a little bit of how D&D connects with you as a person and your own journeys where it's come and gone in your life, why don't you give us a little journey of your own about where it started for you? Where did D&D first enter your existence?
Oddly enough, I've been trying to get in D&D for a good chunk of my life just because it always seemed interesting. I finally got the chance to play properly back in 2021. Got through 2 sessions before the DM left because we were in a course, so he had finished his time and he was gone. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to become the DM and I'm going to try it out. I actually had a lot of fun with that. I was like, okay, cool. But then I left the work program for a really cool job. And then everything kind of broke apart and I couldn't play for another year and a half. And then finally, beginning of last year, 2024, I decided, you know what? I heard about this space called Start Play. Let me be able to start doing it online. And I found out exactly how much I adored D&D through that. My first character was a barbarian that I made in literally 20 minutes because I didn't realize I signed up for that day. I thought I signed up for the next days. And I got to play as Kai the Barbarian, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I got to discover, battle versus role play, this, that, and the other. I had my first character death happen. Thankfully, they were brought back to life because goddamn beholders and disintegration rays and death rays.
Am I right?
And from there, I just kept on finding more and more love. I have a character kind of similar to Cody, kind of keeps on showing up everywhere, named Neok, who grew up in the forest and is a changeling warlock. Did not make a deal with the patron in the sense of like, I get your soul afterwards. They tried that, and Neok just went, nah, thanks. You look lonely. Do you want a friend? And now has cosmic powers and a best friend patron.
That is awesome.
Yes, Neok, I absolutely adore. Neok is a clean slate changeling that can just be whatever I decide, and very much get shaped by whoever they're around. They can be good, they can be evil, they can be whatever the rest of the party is, while also just having fun. And I found the Warlock class to be fun, but I keep on messing with different things because I very much want to experience all of D&D. So I ended up joining the Dungeon Delvers, and I got to play as Mint the Cleric, and now I'm playing as a Bard as well in a different campaign. And I've just I found my love not kind of opposite of what the others were talking about. They get to put themselves into their characters, and I do that to a degree. But I really enjoy trying to be something new, someone else, and seeing how that would change my viewpoint in my own life. Mint the Cleric is a very devout person, very full of faith, all about goodness, this, that, and the other. I myself try to be an optimistic, but I am not faithful and devout like she is. I am not someone who is able to see the world in a way that she can. And I very much get to explore that idea of myself and what it could mean in my own life if I was having faith in whether it be religion, whether it be a friend, whether it be this, that, or the other, what it would mean for me to have faith in something. And when I get to play my himbo, I have a himbo monk in a different game. I could discover what it could be to be someone who's trying to just take the happiness and being like, all right, let's just go with the flow. What does it mean when you just go with the vibes? So I very much get to explore sections of myself that I wouldn't get to otherwise. And that's my favorite thing about D&D is exploring myself, but also in a way that I'm working with others, that we all discover different things.
And I can respect that. Literally, you've explained one of the beautiful things about D&D that has fascinated me for years, is that in that moment of you being a character, you are not yourself. You are literally another person for that time frame. You are thinking like another person. You are acting like another person. You literally remove all of who you are to be someone else in that time frame. It's a fascinating concept. Absolutely fascinating concept. And
Exactly
it's something
right.
that I try to delve into deeply. I can respect
In
that. Seriously.
in my Curse of Strahd campaign, the DM has a distinct voice for the big bad, and I can feel like when I'm turning into my character based off of his voice, and I can feel myself not being the player as much anymore as the character, and having my own like what is her initial reaction to different things.
Oh, yes, I remember this phenomenon. We talked about this. I shared with you a bad guy from a character from a campaign I'd done ages ago, and you literally said that gave instant ick vibes. So I think I understand where you're
Yes.
coming from here. Like something just it's triggering into the mind to be like, this is who I need to be in this moment. This is what
Mhm.
this is. So, oh, absolutely.
I find it really fun
Absolutely.
to kind of explore that. And like I said, the DM has a certain voice for Curse of Strahd, and he and I have just talked normally, just as people sometimes, and suddenly he'll pull that out, and my immediate reaction is just screw you, Strahd. Like there's no
I've
thought
heard this
process
reaction
to it.
live.
I
Can attest.
immediately become Minch. Just screw you. I hate you. You were terrible. I'm going to destroy your evil undead ass. And it's just like, whoa, what that was Mint. Holy shit. Okay, I need to go down.
When Mint needs to take a calming mint themselves. But yeah, no, I understand. I've seen this phenomenon live. I've watched some of the Delvers content. I helped make some of the character bios. So yeah, I have seen this reaction, just instantaneous you. To be fair,
Yes.
I have an NPC with my players that are currently here that if I start doing the voice of, they start to have a very similar reaction too.
Mhm. I don't know if it's one of the videos that
Why?
we posted yet. Oh.
Oh, yes, it is. My good
There's
friends, you thought you killed me. I'm not dead.
You bastards!
Don't make me
Oh,
put a bullet
don't
in you
get me
again.
started.
very much exactly that. Um, but at one point, I very much like to react as Mint. Like I said, I kind of take in that character. And I have that same kind of initial reaction. I get so into that at one point in one of the episodes, I don't know if it's aired yet or not. The DM is describing some terrible stuff because bad guy. And then he just looks over and he sees me reacting how Mint would react. He's like, okay, I think you need a break. I'm like, I'm good. I'm just playing as Mint. Mint is horrified. But
I
legitimately, he
can't say
just
I've
sat
seen
there
that
like,
yet, so I'm
holy
looking forward
shit.
to it when the opportunity comes. When you make the DM go, oh shit, I think that person needs therapy. That's a good sign. Okay?
Yeah, it
That is a
was
good
so much
sign.
fun. Because yeah, I love
Ah,
being my characters and taking them in, and again, it helps me kind of discover other aspects of myself that I wouldn't otherwise. But a really fun part of D&D is also being able to create that story together. I would not have been able to make Mint the way that I have, or Carl, or any of my other characters, if it weren't for the fact that I have other people influencing them.
understandable entirely. The NPCs that I've made for my players would not have the impact that they do if it wasn't for them giving them a reason to have that impact. Like everything in D&D for me as a DM is built around my players living the life of their character, right? So their actual emotional responses, their actual thoughts. I have had my players send me messages going, "Man, that guy's a dick. I can't wait to kill him. Why'd you have to end? I was going to put a bullet in him." I say to a certain warlord who sent me a message like, "It was my turn. It was my turn."
He was so evil.
We all have
So
those
yes,
moments
you know
where we pick
exactly
up
my
our toys.
feeling, Warlord.
It's my guy's job.
Yeah. And Celestia, played by Cody, also has a very similar, very, very similar reaction. Like, they're the two characters, when Jack Blackman and Celestia on the screen, the two of them literally have like electricity sparks between them when they argue type of personality traits. And it is some of the most hilarious moments in the world to watch these two get at each other. It is wholesome and in the most natural way possible. Like, you can't even tell that it is D&D at that point. It is natural with the level of bickering and fighting. It is so good.
And what's funny is we argue like that in real life.
24/7.
Oof.
Method acting.
Yeah, to a very good degree.
It's always Celestia's fault. It's always.
Actually, it's not always Celestia's fault, but you did bring an interesting part for our segue today. Fair play and the gamer's mindset. This will be our second big topic for the day, mind you. That's a beautiful segue. Thank you both for unwittingly giving it to me. But what is fair, and how do you determine? Thank you. But how do you determine what is actually fair as the DM and what you think is fair as the player? Where is that fine line in a game where you're looking at it? There might be some entities on the field that you think, maybe I gave too many, or maybe that is too damn many, DM. What's wrong with you? Where do you feel that line needs to be drawn? So again, I'll go person by person because it just makes the most sense. I mean, everybody has their chance to speak. Everybody gets a chance to put their opinion out. And I obviously, if anyone wants to chime in, please let me know in the side chat. We can have chime-ins on these things, all right? It's a conversation. It's always organic when we're talking. So to me, the concept of fair play is a twofold problem. When you're a DM, you cannot give a perfect example of fair play. Your creatures also have stats. They have abilities. You have designed them to do things. So right off the rip, you have a imbalanced balance that you've created. You want your monster to perform. So you don't necessarily want your players to succeed in killing it because it's your brand new toy. But when you're the DM, you also make this toy for your players to break. You make the creatures so that they destroy them and they kill them and they remove your toys from the battlefield. You have to have that I can give and I can have taken away from me and not take it personal. So that's what is to fair. What is fair? Do you not take an emotional stance over something you're building? Do you take the wrong idea with a player because they're not going with what you think the story should be? Where does fair lines drawn? So I'll give an example and we'll go person by person for this example. Your DM has just put 5 entities on the battlefield. Now, you're a group of 3, okay? It's you and 2 others that are supporting you. It's 5 versus 3 in a traditional D&D setting. Does that sound fair? Starting with the die roll for who is on the table. If I can stop losing my dice. Warlord.
Well, thanks for putting me on the spot there, sir. Anyway,
Why,
I
you're
think-
welcome. That's what
I
our
think-
podcast is all about.
I think first of all, depends on my teammates. Depends on what class they are. It depends on what I'm up against as well. What does the HP pool look like? What abilities do they have? You know, and sometimes, a lot of the time, though, from what I've experienced, it's fuck around and find out kind of moment. Like, oh shoot, like I've never seen this before. Why do they have that? You know, so it's all in the experience, I guess. But in all fairness, because we are talking about fairness here, fair play. I do think if your teammates can coordinate, which anybody should be able to, you know, if they're, you know, fireball anyway.
Yeah, careful
But
with that. Yeah.
if they
I've seen people spend hours on a door, so
yeah. But in all
sorry, an
seriousness,
unlocked door.
but sneak attack anyway. But in all seriousness, though, joking aside, I think even in a 3 versus 5, it's a fair fight. Even if it's heck, 7 against maybe 2. I mean, if you really think about it, if you know what you're doing and you know how to play, even if it's your first time, you can literally completely turn it around. So, I
true.
say class matters. I say, the type of people you're with matters. But really, it's all about the experience and having fun. That's the most important thing, I think, coming out of all of it. So, yeah.
Exactly. Would you say that having a fair system gives more room for enjoyment of the game versus an unfair system, which is slated against the player? Examples like roguelites or games like Daggerheart that are meant to be gruesome to the player or grueling to the player. Like, do you have a moral line on where you think a game should not punish the player because they're choosing to play it? Because it's also in a line of fair play to what difficulty is set before you go into the game. Where do you see like that fine line for yourself? I'm curious.
Well, depends on whether the player wants a challenge or wants an easy way out, I guess you could say. So
Reasonable.
it's
Reasonable.
all about
Again, this is
preference.
critical thinking. Yeah, and critical thinking, which is a very big skill you're showing here. It's thinking on your feet, thinking in the moment, like battle assessment. If you, the player, feel that the combat is way too slated against you, you have the ability to open your lips to the DM. If the
Right.
DM takes it poorly, we'll get into what that means when we get to our next big topic. But you always have the ability as a player to lodge something to the DM. You can be, hey, I need to step away from the table and ask you a question. DM, real quick, what do you think this is fair? And I don't mean like the do you think this is fair kind of reaction all players get, but like the act. Hold on a second.
That was radio music.
Sorry for the squeak. There's a unfortunate, wonderful chair not far from my area that loves to get moved by the cats and make noise. So sorry about that. We'll try to keep that edited out in the future.
I low-key thought it was just like stimming and someone moving their chair a lot.
Probably.
It's like I gotta keep moving.
No, I am honestly sorry about that. I didn't because I have my headphones on. I couldn't hear it coming from across the room to the mic, and then all of a sudden I just hear squeaky, squeaky, son of a bitch. So,
Yeah, I
a
heard,
little-
I
What's
heard
going
it,
on
and I was like,
again?
okay. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, that's gonna be hard to edit out.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. Better we don't. Okay, leave those moments. We'll cut them as some of our shorts and put that up and let people see, like, hey, we do screw up around here,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Definitely.
But accidents happen. Okay, you can't get. Look, I live in a home with people. People are going to do things. Animals are going to do things.
How
That's
dare
why
you.
this is a podcast. This is life. How dare they? And not on my time and my schedule. But that's this life. We all gotta. Yeah, we just gotta battle with it. We have some technical issues happening with one of our guests this evening. So when they're able to return to us, hopefully they will be able to. We'll address them. But for now, we will move on to our next individual. Let me load my dice and remove our unfortunate technical difficulty friend. Connor, my good man, it is you, sir.
His eye. So we are walking back to the 3 party members versus 5 NPCs, essentially, correct? 5 monsters, enemies.
Yes, you can use it as
Okay.
an example or any instance where you feel like maybe you and your allies were against a very slated battle that didn't quite
Oh.
feel fair to you. Like any kind of for reference.
Yeah, no, that works out. 3 to 5, to me, the numbers don't matter. To me, numbers don't matter at all. It doesn't matter the number of party. You can have one person take out a lot. You can have a lot of people struggle with one. To me, that doesn't matter. It's more about, and this is kind of how I plan on the DMing side of it too, is I have my party. They fought 6 hellhounds once. They were a lower level, but they fought 6 hellhounds, and they thought they thought they were gonna die. I currently have them. They fought. They were in like a battle royale versus 3 teams of 5 orcs, and they were not scared
Okay.
whatsoever. So they're literally in an arena with 16 orcs, and they're not even sweating it, not at all. So to me, it's like it more or less comes down to how it really comes down to the DM and like the power trip and how willing they are to be humble. If
Right.
you need to win, DMing is not for you, in my opinion. That's just the way I see it. DMing is losing in the most fun and creative way possible. That's how I see it.
Agreed.
D&D is about failing forward. It's not. That's how I see it. It's not about being this mid-max, super awesome hero having plus 20 in every stat. Like, cool. Like, that's awesome. But like, nobody wants to play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, then you become kind of like an a-hole, and you become like okay, cool. Like, you're an awesome guy. But nobody really has the ability. In my opinion, I don't see anybody really having the ability to DM something like that. I like having more fun with the mess ups. I like having more fun with the group trying to decide something. It's it's in improv. There's something they call it the flow. Everyone's heard of the flow, like getting into the groove. There's a certain there's a certain rhythm. There's a certain beat that needs to be kept, and if you're breaking that by either killing them or by being too strict, looking up a rule for 45 minutes, you're breaking it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not having fun. Let's keep it going. To me, that's how I do it. I do rule cool and like just right on the spot. And a lot of my players, I rarely maybe it's just the people that I pick, but I have a lot of people coming to me and saying, this was an awesome session. Like, keep going. I want to be like, a lot of people want to come back to my tables, and
Right.
I have one NPC I really care about, and it's just my BBEG, and I don't really have them. I'm just gonna make sure that they don't one shot it. But besides for that, I just want to make it a cool story. That's it. That's all I really want. You know, it kind of comes down to that kind of whole railroading versus letting them be open. It's hard to. One of the things that I struggle with as a DM is putting something from my mind, painting the picture inside my mind, and then describing it to you so you also see the same painting. Because my mouth not good,
Right.
but my brain real good. So
I feel that.
I think we all have those moments.
My brain real good.
my brain real good. Yes.
Yes.
My words not very well.
Brain, very strong.
Strong
Very
like
strong.
ox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Strong like bull. Yeah.
Hence why I
No,
tell my
but-
friend,
oh,
I
God.
got words good.
To quote Puss in Boots, strong like the bull, but dumb like the donkey. You know, I get where you're coming from, though. Like that is a fine line you have to balance. That whole, if you're the DM, you need to make sure that things are challenging, but not so challenging your players don't want to play. I've heard somebody say the phrase, "Don't make a session a Blood Souls game."
Yeah.
I think that has a
legitimate.
lot more weight than people give it credit to.
Mhm.
Yeah. If I get
It's-
a player up to level 20, you might be at level 20 for 2 weeks, and then we prestige back to level 5. That's just how I work as a DM.
I mean, to me, especially too, like most DMs usually have like a good like minimum and maximum cap that they try to keep to. Because if you walk in, like I tried to pull some BS with you yesterday about trying to walk up and talk to the golems, and you were very quick on like diverging. Like, no, this is going to be like I saw the wording. I saw the words on the wall, and you're like, no, this is going to be a battle. You guys are going to have to fight your way out of this. Versus me walking up and trying to like peacefully walk our way out of here. Not that there was gonna be one, but
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Right.
yeah. But I just tried just to see if there was like a level of like spark that could have turned something new or cool. But I
Absolutely.
indulge into those things because of how strong I see you as a DM. You're very, very improv. You're very quick to think on your feet. We were DMing, and literally, like, before I could even finish my typing the next thing, you already had what this would do and this would do and stuff like that. And I'm going to be honest, I do use AI to some level in my DMing, but I use it for help. I don't use it for the Bible, you know.
Right.
I like to spark ideas.
Understandable.
Mhm.
Not to open a big old can of worms when it comes to things, but I'm a firm believer of a tool is a tool. If you treat it for the tool that it is instead of what it's not, then any tool can get the job done. But
Mhm.
not all tools are suited for every job. So I'm not going to get mad at a person that's using a tool to help them do something. Hell no.
there are props with
we
that.
all use a handbook. Yeah. Yeah, like
Yeah.
for me, you have to use a handbook for D&D when you don't know what D&D is. After you've learned the handbook, you can go off script, but you still got to know the basics first, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
With your comment about having to move around as a DM, the entire point of having certain encounters that can't be like charisma their way through or talk their way through is there's a lot of other video game systems that have done this, but it's the illusion of choice. You have the idea that you can make a decision, but your decision may not go where you want it to do. The dice is going to be one half of that problem because the dice tell me, well, I'm not going to deny my player if they have managed to succeed. I need to make this work and not screw my game. But a failure is basically a guaranteed, I didn't just lose my plot. Thank God. You know, like as a DM, you have to take those small victories, but you also have to award your players when they do something smart or they do something well. You can't be like, oh no, my creature never takes damage and it can fly and it can
Yeah.
smoke weed. Like, like you have to bring some realism down. Like the smoking weed, everybody does. But like
Hell
the
yeah.
other parts, you gotta bring back to reality a bit. A flying creature can fly, but there needs to be limits. You can't have
We're
a creature
playing
that goes 500 feet in the air easy,
We're playing adult make believe. Like, let's have fun. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I'm not gonna sit here and try to be like Mr. Cop about it and Mr. Rules Lawyer. Like, then go do that somewhere else. Go do that on the internet where other people argue and stuff like that. Like, I'm here to be a piece of toast. Like,
It makes me think. It makes me think of that one video by Viva La Dirt League, where that one guy has that max charisma stat
Mhm.
throughout the whole thing, and he's
Yeah.
just cheesing everything.
Mhm.
You don't want a campaign like that, and you
No.
want to work
No.
for it. You don't want it to just be easy. It's exactly what I was
Exactly.
trying to say.
It's like having an Olympic medal. Did you buy it or did you earn it? Type of thing. Like, cool. Like,
Right.
if you earned it, like, awesome. Nobody gets to see it. Like, you still have the title, but nobody gets to see the hard work put behind it. And that's the fun in the story, is watching your characters grow up and hit every level and watch all these little mess ups. And my one friend is notorious for breaking his blade. Literally rolls a nat 1 on this one blade every single time. And I promise you, I'm not trying to break it, but he just keeps rolling nat 1s on it. So I got to keep breaking it.
Hey, look, the Nat 1 is the blessing and the curse of every DM. Either you're blessed because somebody did it against you, or you're cursed because you did it when you didn't want to. I I have a love-hate relationship with that damn number. I'm not even gonna deny.
Like, I'll set my monsters at X HP, and then I'll adjust it by the way that the party's rolling that night. You know what I mean? Like, I want to watch it. It's about the cinema of it. We're telling bedtime stories. Like, let's have a good bedtime story. You know, like.
Absolutely. See, I'm a firm believer that the Brothers Grimm had it right. You tell a story that's meant to teach a child a lesson. You may not necessarily scare them into their britches and so they have trauma, but fear is an important tool because it's part of our fight or flight response as a human being. We teach ourselves these things to keep ourselves safe. Fire is bad. Don't burn our hands. Don't watch too much daytime television. That guy's a televangelist. We have these things that tell us things are bad. So, like, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. You're going to hear humor come out of me, okay?
You get inspiration for that.
Stay away from him. They had a musical all about that. Don't touch him. His Bible's radioactive. You know.
Are we talking about D&D or just the real world? I can't tell.
Both. It's both, and that's the
When
whole
did
point.
the line
Life
blur?
will always mirror each other. D&D. Okay, so I've made this joke before. This is true. D&D has been blurring the line between fantasy and reality since before Wizards even knew that they could put something on paper. Because the idea behind telling a story is as old as communication in our world itself. Before a dude sat in an office, said, hey, we can get a whole bunch of nerds to buy our books if we just put a bunch of dragons on the cover. Before they got to that stage, which Player's Handbook 1, if you look at the design, you'll understand exactly what I mean by that, was storytelling. Everything was storytelling. Theater of the mind, music, art. This has been a part of culture. We're just combining all those pieces together in one collective medium. I know we kind of got off topic, but it all still kind of connects to fair play because this is the mindset of a player, right? This is what goes through the DM's mind, what goes through the player's mind, what goes through the viewer's mind. And with that, the next person up on my roll, Cody. If you are available.
And not initiative.
Roll initiative. No.
I'm here. It's
Sure,
just
pick
my
one.
technology. Am I right?
Yes, tech
Gotta
Gotta
will
love
look
it.
forever a tech, forever a problem. I swear. But even if we're fighting through the tech and we're swimming through the tech issues, fair play to you as a player. I know you're going to soon become a DM. You plan on running your own campaigns. You're studying the concept. What do you, as a person who's looking as a player now, experiencing how fair play is applied, and you about to give that concept to new players, where do you sit on that line? How do you see the gray between the black, the white, and everything else in between?
I mean, I do believe that there is definitely some DMs in this world who can make things at least neutral for people. There was this one DM that I knew one time. I worked with a while ago that they had like, I don't know what to call it, like very like DM syndrome. Like they had like, oh, I'm the DM, I make up everything. Everything goes as I plan. I'm not going by the books. I'm going by what I'm saying because I'm the DM and duh. And he would
Yeah.
constantly be told by
We
his
call them
players.
dictators.
He would constantly been told by his players, "Hey, can you play how it's supposed to be played? Like in the handbook, it says, oh, that you can use this like this." And he's like, "No, that's not what it says. I know what it says, and that's not what it says." And I'm like, "No, that's what it says." Cat. Sorry, I got
Yeah.
distracted.
Yeah. I understand entirely. What you're describing is what in my time we would call dictators. Because they're literally just telling you what they want to have happen, and you're just along for the ride and not experiencing the story. How did that make you feel at the time? I'm curious. Did that shape your experiences for D&D further moving forward?
Yeah, I kind of was nervous to join any other games with people, mainly because like my impressions of DMs have like my friend's dad, like they're a friend that I don't really talk to too much anymore because their parents hate me for no reason, so I already have kind of a bad view on him. And then also, like I said, this recent DM, I'm just gonna call him Birdman. He was very pushy with stuff, and even in his stuff apart from D&D stuff, he would always just be like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing." He would push his own stuff through his D&D and his own like stuff through stuff. So he'd be like, "Hey, I'm doing D&D, but also I'm playing this game thing, and if you're doing the D&D, then you must be interested." And I'm like, "Hey, everybody's interested."
So he used his
Yeah.
campaign as like blackmail for something else that he was trying to promote.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And tried to
no.
also do
That
that.
is
And also tried
No.
to do that for my studios and also my series. So,
ooh, yeah, that literally ties perfectly for our last talking point for the day, which is about abusive DMs and abusive D&D group. Seriously,
Oof.
I'm sorry you had to experience that, both as a player and as a person learning what D&D should be. A toxic experience is enough to make some people leave the table forever, and I'm glad that you did not leave the table after experiencing that. I
I
think I
can't
can honestly
say.
say that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kai.
I was just gonna say I have seen it happen where two people made it a game so much not fun that I had my friends straight up leave a campaign.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I understand that some people will lose interest over time because they have lives, and I also understand that sometimes a person gets bored of a story. But abusive behavior is going to push people out the door faster than anything else. It's just how it is. If you don't treat people like the people they are, they're going to go. And I, for one, and I know I can't apologize for every bad action, every bad DM in the world is taken, but I can at least say to you that I am sorry you had to experience that. And as long as I am your DM, you will never experience such behaviors coming from me. Like, at all. Thank you
Well,
for reining in.
it even just comes down to the fact of like consent. Like consent is key. If you're gonna, it's my character. it's your world, but it's my character. I can take this character and move him to another world. You know what I mean? So like if
Agreed.
Exactly.
it's cooperative. It's all a cooperative thing. Like to me, especially at my tables, I am not like I am the DM, but like you can convince me otherwise on certain things. Like I've had them completely flip my script on something just because I'm not a knowledgeable person. I don't know everything. Like I
Well,
just
you
don't
have
understand.
No one can.
you have a choice to stay there. You also have just as much of a choice to leave. You know.
Exactly.
Very true.
And none of us
And
are
some
doing this
people
for
don't know they have a choice.
and we're not really doing this for money or fame. We're just doing it for fun. Like it's a passion project.
Yeah.
Truth. YouTube careers we built over time. That's what I'm hoping to do here with these podcasts and with the games themselves. But we're playing the games for passion. We're making the
Yeah.
podcasts to have passion about communicating and opening up as a group, right? It all has a purpose. I'm not a very big fan of something for nothing. Taking time to do something just because it fills space does not bring productivity. Doing something with your time does, however. So there's a fine line there still too. That I'm not a very big fan of an abusive situation as a DM because that literally means that your story has now been completely side saddled to your ego.
Yeah, 100%. And
We'll get into
it
that deeper when we get into it. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I can wait.
No, seriously. Go ahead. That's why we have up the ad libs. Please.
Well, I mean, for my first campaign, I had to pay for it. I had to pay $5 just to walk in the door, just so I could do this.
Wait, they extorted you for $5 just to roll a dice? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and I will say this about
No.
the DM: he really needed the money because he needed some serious dental work.
yeah,
It was that bad.
most
I
DMs have to pay
mean,
for therapy, so
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So it was, and he
our
wasn't that
first
great of a
sponsor,
DM either.
told
BetterHelp.
otherwise.
No.
Yeah,
Oh
he had
man,
that DM
we're not
syndrome. I'm gonna
sponsored,
tell
but maybe
you.
one day.
Yeah, he
Oh
had
man,
that DM
could you
syndrome
imagine
for
us?
sure.
Could you imagine us being sponsored by BetterHelp one day? Could you really us doing the ad reads for BetterHelp? Oh, if ever a great group was ever decided to tell about mental stability, it'd be me, your DM, at least. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies. Oh. I had to hold myself from saying the other word I wanted to. YouTube, that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful platform. But no, seriously, we will move more into what the whole thing of the consequences of a toxic DM will be. But we have at least one other person to ring in on our current last little topic, and I want to make sure everyone gets their fair share, fair share of speaking time, both to sit on your ass and to share what's out at last. So, Kai, with that in mind, what is it with player fairness with you? I know you've talked about things where you've seen some things in games, but from your perspective, where does fairness come into line? Where does it feel like the DM is like, I'm going to take my life abuse out on you versus you feel like, oh, well, this is a nice walk in the park? Like, where's your fine line?
Kind of similar to earlier said, to me, it's not a numbers game of like, could be 7 against 2 or anything like that. For me, it's more based off of what is it that the group wants. Because I have a group that's very battle centric. We want that, like, we want it to be hard. We want to be making sure that we are barely surviving every single battle. So in those moments where you are having the higher CR levels, you're having more people that you're having to deal with, this, that, and the other. That is fair. That's exactly what we're wanting. That's what we're going for. That was my barbarian. I just had fun, beating things up and getting to half health with my Blood Rage Great Axe and destroying everything. But on the other side, I have a group that I play with my monk. We are big on role play. We don't care so much about the battles as we do having our characters tell the story together. And in those moments, our DM has actually learned, because I love this DM, absolutely adore him in the way that he plays his games. Not so much how he deals with players, but how he plays his games. He has realized that a couple weeks in from when I joined in with my friends, and we all clicked in the role play area, and we nearly died to a green dragon. We were like level 3.
Oh.
Young green dragon. My character has boots of flying and went up and down, up and down, up and down. And I was having fun with the battle, but our barbarian is a very sweet person, and she was on the edge of her seat. She could not handle my character nearly dying. So we kind of pivoted more towards the
Ah.
role play, and now we have a little bit of an easier battle situations going on, but he designs those battles in a way to then tie back into role play. So it's very much dependent on what is it your group wants. If it's somebody's just like, no, I just run battles, I want to do dungeon crawls for my players, then you choose role play characters. That's when it gets kind of toxic and when it's not good. It's fair as long as the DM and the players are talking about what they want and what they can work together on.
I like that.
Reasonable. That's a reasonable perspective.
I
And a healthy
fully agree.
outlook. This is not.
Yeah, I fully agree. I fully agree with
Good.
that because you have the
Yeah,
role because
I
you have
agree
like
with that too.
because you have your role playing kind of DMs, you have your more combat heavy, you have your dungeon crawlies, you have the just the F my players kinds too. So I mean that really does fit. You know, like you do though. Like you have ones that are just
Yeah, you
just
do.
like so
Absolutely. And
The
it's
I
pressure.
have,
it's about the vetting process to me because if I because just like Warlord was saying, Warlock,
Warlord, yes, yes.
Warlord. Okay, after what Warlord was saying is essentially like he didn't really have anybody and or anywhere to go to learn this D&D thing. I'm actually kind of going through this with Warhammer right now. I have no idea where to start. I just know it's fun, you know. So I turned on a game and it was pretty fun and stuff like that. But it's like if your first experience is awful, you are not going back to that. If you sit down and your DM essentially is doing something without your consent in any sort of fashion, that's gonna suck. I mean, it's really gonna tarnish that feeling for you. So I like trying to be on that like introductory level where like it's fun, come in, like we're not trying to stick to the rules too much. But they're almost like to be like a place for all D&D players to go. Like, hey, I'm more of like a role playing, and I don't want to spend $5 trying to get somebody to DM for me. So
yeah, my
Yeah.
very first online D&D that I actually like finished a campaign of, my DM was an amazing woman. She very much was all about trying to find that balance. And as somebody who had literally maybe played 2 sessions of D&D period before and was very lost in trying to figure things out, she very much helped me learn to navigate that and got me to understanding what is it meaning to be more battle heavy, what does it mean to be more role play. Um, and got me a lot more comfortable with all that so that I felt like I could speak out and tell my DM, like, hey, you know, I'm noticing this. I kind of want to go this way. And, you know, I love being the battle more. Can I get more battle? And she's like, well, this person wants to do more role play. Can you tie it in and let's make this a group thing? And that's something that kind of stuck with me and why I'm always pushing for it to be a group thing when it comes to D&D.
Yeah, it's a compromise. As a group, you should be able to communicate a mutual idea, and all of you agree to general outcome, right? Like that just seems like basic common sense.
well, you're not tuning into Critical Role, you're not tuning into Dimension 20, you're not tuning into those things because of how you're tuning into those because the story's good, because how much the players care, and that makes you care because they care so much in the story that the DM feels empowered to make the story even better. So it's this whole like escalating thing. Like I, as a viewer, will not care if the player doesn't seem to care, and if the player doesn't seem to care, then why would the DM even give half a shit? You know? So
Yeah. So
You've
yeah,
literally made it your
Precisely,
own.
it's engagement.
my big thing with it, fairness, is just everybody has to have a say and it has to be the right DM to the right type of player.
yes, 100%.
Also agreed.
A
Also agreed.
proper
If you guys
session
haven't
zero.
figured out by now, I am an improv. Yes, or session delta, as I tend to call them, because we don't like zeros around here. They mean nothing happened.
What's
You'll
funny
find.
is
That's a good
Like,
You'll
point.
find.
like most of my game sessions.
I haven't really taken any notes at this point because it's like I'm just going with whatever's happening, you know.
Mhm.
And it's to me it's more fun that way. I mean, yes, if you want to keep track of stuff, keep track of stuff. But personally, it's like I'm just here for the game, man. You know,
That's how
I
your
enjoy the
character.
experience.
That's how your character would play it, though. Jack Blackman seems like a very like he's not writing notes. He just knows the bad guys. He knows the good guys. He knows where to blast them.
Exactly.
He
Yeah.
doesn't really care.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's more of where he feels he needs to go. You
Mhm.
know, fuck everybody else. You
Yeah.
know, it's he does his own thing. You know,
Star
and
Lord,
he's
very
kind of
Star Lord.
yeah.
Pardon the joke, but it's his character.
I'm not
But
gonna
it's
speak
true.
for that
He's
one.
more of
You
an
are
extra
doing these
frame.
things
He's more of a mix between Cad Bane
I know.
and yeah,
Yeah.
and Arthur Morgan. So yeah,
But kind of that space level of like almost narcissistic, but very like self-centered, very self-driven mission.
oh yeah, it can be Two-Faced at times too if he needs to be.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
You put a reference in my head with all your damn unknown DC references. You're only rolling dice on my table, Batman. I was born on it.
Gross.
I was born
It's
in
so
the
dumb.
dark.
I could've-
Now I'm going to steal your
Yes.
airplane
Oh.
ticket. You don't
But
need
even-
to be on the flight,
to
Batman.
do a follow-up
You're not
tidbit.
going to Tahiti.
To give you a follow-up. The other
I'm going
reason
to
that
Tahiti,
people aren't
Batman.
watching no, the other reason why people aren't watching Critical Role of them anymore is because they have us to watch now, and I'm hoping that they enjoy all of our content.
Obviously.
I'm a walk off from
Yeah.
No.
yeah, take that.
You gotta have a little fun.
No, don't quote me on that.
Take that as I walk.
Wait,
Take that as I walk away because I know I'm about to get flamed by the internet.
Matt Mercer's gonna come to my house and slap me.
You just get a phone call from Matt Mercer. Start rolling death saves. Hang up.
Oh,
How do you want to do this? Click.
Wait,
I'm waiting.
how'd you get this
Look,
number?
if we somehow get an email from
My
Matt
number is
Mercer going,
111.
hey, if we somehow get a damn email from Matt Mercer and they ask us, go, hey, love your content, stop making fun of me, you jackass, I will call that an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Like, it'll probably never happen. That's a hell
Wait,
of an
isn't he that
accomplishment.
guy from Mass Effect?
No, oh, wrong guy.
Oh,
Sorry.
no.
No, he's from Demon Slayer.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I know. I'm just messing.
I'm just messing with you. No, he's in Overwatch.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, ain't he in Fortnite?
Goodness.
Should have played Mercy. No, seriously. Oh, God. Thank you guys for rating in on that shit. So we have one last topic that we kind of touched on a little bit today, right? Because we've really already danced all over it, talking about toxic behavior, what to expect from your DM. You can kind of notice from just our basic conversation that the things that you want to be on the lookout for is you not having your own voice represented, the DM not communicating to you, and you not being able to communicate back to them for various things happening with your character that you don't consent to. These are the things to be aware of for a toxic DM or a toxic table. So since we already kind of covered that, how about we go to the secret option for today's conversation and we bring everything on home? Today's secret concept is one story. You will pick a singular story from your time being either a DM or a player and tell us what that event was. Was it something that made you laugh so hard you fell out of your chair? Did it scare you to the point where you were shivering after? Did it make you hungry and, looking for people that might sponsor us down the line, But things of that nature. What have you got? I want to know. I'm curious because these are the things, not only are you sharing who you are as a person, but our listeners are going to start to realize these are the people behind the character. These are the people turning the gears to make Celestia cast ice, or Jack Blackman fire 3 guns and one from his mouth, or things of these, or Dr. Farron taking giant spikes out of the ground and uppercutting you in the face before throwing a creature Team Rocket style into the moon.
Blast off again.
These are things. These are things that happen because of D&D, and they only happen because you are there, the story is there, and the DM is there to make all these 3 things work together. So. I'll roll the dice to see who will be the next one, but tell me a story from your time in D&D that was like that. It could literally be anything. Okay. Kai, you're on the docket.
Oh, goodness. No, I got used to being last. Shit. Okay.
So was I, until I started playing with the Luck Roll Chronicle. Not kidding. No, seriously. Tell me. Tell me what's a good story. What have you got?
Okay, it's kind of a 2-parter. I mentioned I have a monk. I decided at one point I wanted to play a himbo, and I made 2 different characters. And I made a himbo monk by the name of Elias. And I decided, I'm going to do a couple different things, and I made him dyslexic, which is the reason why he was kind of casted off from his family because he comes from the noble background. He didn't tell his party that. He very much was like trying to avoid as much as possible until a paper was found from a druid that was written in Goblin, and our Goblin couldn't read it. So Elias had to read it, and he was just sweating bullets the entire time, like, and trying his best to read it. And it took him like 15 minutes because the words just wouldn't sit still. And it was like 3 paragraphs long. And that became a moment for my character where everybody else was like, oh, the sweetheart, the one that is always laughing, is actually having struggles. Like, oh my God, this one is actually traumatized. Shit, we've been making fun of him. But he then got to kind of get stronger with the group and have fun with them and get sort of sibling rivalry to the point where in the last 2 episodes, he got to yell at the cleric for doing something stupid. And she's like, listen to your elders from now on. And the cleric turns around and me is just like, spell elder. And I just remember sitting there as Elias just being like, oh, that's a low blow. But it also made me just as the player start laughing because this was my friend that I was playing with. We were having fun. And we knew that at the end of the day, once the session was over, we were still going to be having fun with each other. It was just that moment of like, oh, holy shit, okay. And those are the kind of moments in D&D that I love, where you get that smart ass response or you get that touching moment, those moments that just, you feel them.
Yeah, because that's what you're looking for, is to connect in that moment, to be, to live, to experience, right? Makes perfect sense. A good story will leave its imprint on you, whether it has been for the funniest things, the failures, the laughter, the camaraderie, the drama, the murder, whatever is on the line is what you're looking for. Because that's the drive of what is fun, right?
I think my favorite part about that, though, is in the moment, it was great. In the moment, everything was having fun. And then immediately after the session, my friend still checked in afterwards, like, hey, everything good? Did I cross a line? All that stuff. Because very much like we knew we were good, but she still wanted to make sure because we all trusted and respected each other in such a way that we wanted to make sure we never crossed a line.
And that's what matters. Mutual respect between players and DM.
But yeah, that's my story because I don't know, something about that always made me really happy the second it happened. And afterwards, I ended up telling all of my friends about it. I mean, like, so this thing happened and this happened. And they're like, oh, that seems like a jerk move. I'm like, don't worry, he got back at him.
That is gorgeous. Thank you for sharing those stories. I think a part of that will follow me for wherever I go for the next couple of days at least. Oh my goodness. Next up on the line, Devil.
Hello.
Now, Devil, you've seen a number of campaigns, both from the last year from our previous work, and maybe you got a chance to catch up on some of the stuff here. I know you've seen some other things in the D&D media. What are some stories that have stuck with you? Whether it's a session you got a chance to sit in, watch, or record, or whatever have you. What one stuck to you the most?
My. When I was writing my notes, I was tapping that pencil on my head, and I was thinking, what would I say during this segment? Because I have seen a bit of D&D media, but what really stuck with me was during the last bits of New Star, before our time skip, the acting of the players was phenomenal. People were in their emotions during and afterwards. We had people crying, people laughing, people feeling like they truly lost something, people feeling like they truly gained something. We took it to the stars with that, with the just the experience, the people, the way they acted. It really brought D&D to life there for me. And I may not have been participating, but I felt it. I was there. I was tearing up there too. I was like, oh my god, there's no way they're really doing this shit, bro. Oh my god. And that's what really stuck with me. And it really enlightened me and pushed the boundaries of my thoughts on how D&D can affect a person. Because I thought it was just like, you go in, you kind of role play, and then you come out, and then you do it again, and you have fun doing that. But like, it got cut the cheese type shit serious, and I was like, oh my god, It was amazing, and that is what really stuck.
And I'm just gonna go. I appreciate that, brother. I'm gonna tell you flat out, the people that we have working with us now are gonna blow our former crew out of the water. The people here have some of the best acting and portrayal that I have seen in my life. And when we have a chance to bring even more of our story to the world, we're gonna bring a lot of laughter and tears along the way. I'm excited to be able to do that. And I'm excited for the time I got a chance to work with you on those former projects and the work that we're doing now. Thank you for sharing that. But I almost forgot some of those moments, literally. But you kind of like gave me a little time capsule to last year, and that was beautiful. Getting a chance to look at where we were last year and working with an even better crew now. It's almost like night and day. It's like those were the training wheels days. Now we have grown. We have the motorcycle. We're hauling ass across the mountain. We're blaring the rock music. There's a 6-pack of beer sitting in the sidecar. Like we have grown and we have a journey still to go on. Oh, thank you for giving that back. And thank you for being willing to share that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys are gonna have some fun times trying to tap this the stuff up. You guys are gonna have to work hard to follow up on this one. Oh, speaking of which, Cody,
Here.
your number is up. So
Kinda got
tell
excited
me,
for that 6-pack.
sure.
Me.
Hey, I rolled a 6 for it, okay? But yes, you.
You.
Me.
Share some of those
Yes.
moments. Yes, you. Seriously,
You.
share some moments from. I couldn't resist. Share some moments from around D&D for you, whether it's a campaign that you were a part of, when you got a chance to watch or witness or be a part of it, experiencing in some way, shape, or form. Tell us something of your history there. I'm curious. What moment sticks to you?
That one campaign I was talking about before with the DM who was interesting. There was a lot of good parts about it that stick with me till this day. He had a very interesting way of storytelling, particularly with his main character, which is why I call him Birdman, because his main character was Birdman. And Birdman would be this character where it was like, basically the DM's insert of, hey, if you need help, call Birdman, and Birdman will appear. And we're like, hey, Birdman. And he would always come up. We would get like power upgrades. We would get to talk to this character. This character had a really cool backstory where this character, had a wife once that looked exactly like one of our players. And so he had a deep connection with one of the players. And the story goes is like, hey, you're this person, but you're not this person. And so throughout our adventure, and this was actually a Strahd campaign, it was kind of very prominent in how he changed the original story and how other things went, because even though, he was bad at being a DM, he was good at telling a story. And I just really liked the way that everybody was so involved. The players had their own attitude. Like, there was this one character who was like just the biggest, baddest dude of the group. But like, he was very emotional too. He would cry a lot, he would laugh a lot. But he's like this big burly man, so they're like, oh, you wouldn't expect him to be like the softie of the group, but he was. And my character, like I said, Astoria, she follows me around everywhere. She was kind of just the one of the group where it's like, I fired, and then I missed, and then I fired again, and then I missed. So
Fire both times.
she was just, yeah, she was just kind of the person who would try their best to do everything to help the group, but in the end, mainly just hurting the group instead. On countless occasions has like set the group on fire and like accidentally injured her teammates. But yeah, like playing that character and being with that group was definitely like one of my best D&D experiences.
And you can hear it in the way that you talk about it, the fondness, the memory, the drawback, the literal moments of hubris that you're laughing at now, but at the time were probably very, very terrifying.
Oh
Those are
yeah, I
things
cried for
that
like a
make
whole week about me keep missing and stuff, and then also setting the whole team on fire. The funniest part is I was a sorcerer paladin, so because I was a paladin, I literally had to sit there and heal my whole party. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry.
Is that why you're an ice character now?
Yes,
Oh, the irony.
because I'm
Oh,
cold.
the irony.
Because
Oh
I'm
man.
cold.
Look,
I'm cold.
I
and
heard
I
the
also
words
have,
and I
yeah.
have to. I
Oh,
heard the
no.
words and I have to. You come to my land, you're trying to make s'mores. Yes, your people. I've never had cooked blood. Is it as good as it is raw? It's just classic Strahd. I'm sorry. I had to. I heard Strahd.
It is ice to
Yeah.
see you.
Oh, no.
Freeze
It's
is
nice to
coming,
see you. You're coming to Barovia.
and it's going to be chilling.
Oh my god. It's Victor von Strahd, okay? That's what it is, all right? It's just Victor von Strahd.
I had to
I'm
bring in
laughing
Mr. Freeze
and-
Arnold Schwarzenegger in, so
Listen,
Strahd that I have-
Warlord. You need to do a Strahd campaign, but it needs to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. That'd be hilarious.
I'm going to suck
Where
your
do you think
blood.
you're going?
What do you
Barovia
think
is
you're
my
doing?
country. Where do you think you're going?
Get to the castle now!
Get to the castle now! Oh no!
Get to the dungeon. That's great. How can you tell
I'm
three
assassinator.
out of 12 people? I am the assassinator. You're going to go down.
The
Sarah
autism,
Sarah
Connor, you could
no.
not save yourself.
autism in
Come
the
with
call
me
is
to
Okay,
okay, right now.
Yeah, we're
So
starting
we
up the
don't get copyright struck, just so that we don't get in trouble for copyright. We can joke, but we got to be careful. There's some borderline stuff there.
Yeah,
Kind that is
It's
rolling
funny
that 20.
because-
But you know,
I'll be back. Is that one?
I'll be there.
Did somebody say I'll be back? I'll be
I'll
back.
be there.
oh my
be there.
god.
No.
This is how we know we've devolved.
This is how you
We
know
have
it's
completely
a bunch of
devolved.
neurodivergence.
Well, it is
Just
10:30
Yeah, for real.
at night.
and
Yeah.
bad with Ireland.
That
Oral
dead ass,
nuts,
you're
these
entirely
nuts, goblin.
right. Goblin, these
Yeah, I'm
nuts,
lucky
these
I
nuts,
took
this
meds
joke,
today.
this joke, this track.
Disney,
Oh god.
Disney.
Disney, diss me, diss track, diss nuts, squirrels in my pants, here on Disney. Just oh, it's so bad.
Liar,
So
liar.
bad how easy
Cats on
it is. When you pull out a really trashy there's squirrels in my pants. Just
No. No,
Okay.
no,
Crystal,
Austin.
Natalie,
I can't trip.
Thank you, Matthew.
That's
We might-
just one of those like
Oh,
vicious
no.
mockeries that work in my brain.
Oh,
I
it's
have
great. Instead of
squirrels in my
command
pants.
animal.
Instead of vicious mockery, it's just
And-
cringe as the cantrip.
Oh, cringe. Make somebody immediately regret every decision they've made in the last 5 seconds. Oof. Still second
Why
damage.
am I here? Oh God! Why
I'm gonna
did I
kill
drink-
you.
Who rolled wild
Why
magic?
did I drink that mead?
Why did I cast wild magic in a monastery? just those terrible
Why
things.
did I rage in
Oh.
the chapel?
God damn it. Now I'm just remembering the night of the Ring of Misspelling now. Oof.
Everybody got to chill. I'm chill.
So, all right.
I'm cold.
I will share a few stories from my time around the table. I will share a story from my old campaign from last year, and I will share 2 stories from my current ongoing campaigns now, because that can make them pretty small. The greatest story that from my previous last year, from my old campaign known as New Star, as Dev took the time to kind of reference, one of my favorite moments that we had ever created was one of my former players. Okay, I created an inebriation system. Every time you take a drink, you get -5 to your stats, and that's per drink. Maximum is -15. My player has minus 15 to every damn stat, and still manages while drunk to run across the bar, grab a metal sign, weave in between all the bodies of people in their way, slam the metal sign down on the table, and point at the picture of the person that they has selected as their adopted brother. You go, can we go there? Drunk as a skunk. Completely, they should not have been able to do anything, but they managed to roll a nat 20 with minus 15 and their plus 10 from their dexterity to still pass the damn check. It was bullshit, but the greatest kind. Like, I expected nothing. I was like, you're just going to fall over, pass out at the bar. Hell no. Homeboy who was crippled, walking with a cane, was doing backflips across a bar drunk with a metal sign. All right, like, it's just... It was one of the funniest moments I could ever say as the DM. I'm at the table, and I'm looking at the dice, and I'm looking at my player, and I'm like, there's no fucking way. And then there was a fucking way. Like, it happened. Nature said, yes, let the alcoholic have his fun. Oh, it was great. So for the ones from the two newer campaigns. So we start with Interstellar Dystopia. One of the greatest moments that has to have been started in this campaign is actually at the expense of one of my players here, Jack. We have a wonderful quote about this moment. The oxygen is running out of the ship as they are hovering above Mars. Literally, life support is going critical. They could have taken any action to save themselves and fix the life support. What does Jack Blackman do? Decide to try and blast the giant animal known as a behemoth, which is like a half dead, half monstrously deformed body. He's literally trying to shoot the shit out of the behemoth instead of getting to life support. He manages to bring the HP, this thing, to 0, just in time for him to get smacked in the back of the head by flying debris and pass the hell out. He wasted every cantrip, every grit point, everything he had, and just bam, knocked unconscious from flying piece of metal. It was hilarious.
Don't give
and
up.
The response from Celestia. And the response from Celestia was hilarious to this, okay? As Jack is falling unconscious, all you hear before everything fades is a subtle because that's right, as like literally Cody couldn't hold it back before I described what happened in the next scene. So all you just hear is as Jack is knocked fucking unconscious.
I remember
So like
that.
those moments between the moments, right? Those are sometimes what make D&D beautiful. Is those little gap filler moments that are natural. With the newest one that we've done officially session 2 as of recording this podcast. Don't know when it'll go public yet, but Evernight. My fantasy style D&D campaign in a realm mirrored to the Feywild. My players managed to set a whole goddamn mushroom forest on fire within the first 5 minutes of the game.
How? I'm not even in
I
it.
missed it.
That was an Evernight. Okay, so the boar. I'll set the stage for you. They're in the middle of the glow stalk forest, right? There's giant mushrooms, all kinds of glowing symbols on them and stuff. There's different types of animals going everywhere. Some are dangerous, some are passive. In a small kind of circle, like a glade, if you will, there's a 2-story tall, 2-headed glowing goat. Now, what does our resident lycanthrope Ali, also played by Warlord, do? Immediately try to run up its body to stab it in the neck because it wants a bunch of meat. We now have a person fall. Now, Ali is free falling through the air, heading towards the ground as a spore-covered boar that is about 7 foot tall, 4 foot, thick, pissed off, comes running into the area to charge at the falling through the air Ali. One of my allies decides to use a fire spell. Norun, a satyr who follows in the path of the flame. He used the flame all right. Set the spore cap boar on fire, which rolled all over. Our Viking. Yes, our Viking. Sorry. That's right. I'm thinking of Mirth because Mirth was also in on that. I'll describe what Mirth did. Mirth is our satyr. Okay, so Mirth is our searcher, and Norun is our Viking. So, mind you, the Viking has called upon the Blade of Switcher, which is a living fire sword, and attacks the boar. The boar, every single mushroom spore on it, lights ablaze. There's screams of agony. This thing is rolling around the ground, trying to barrel roll and rolling over buildings, crushing things left and right. Fire is spreading everywhere. And the person that made the fire can't control it back into his body.
Lovely.
He could not return the flames. Now,
he started a forest fire.
He didn't just start a forest fire.
He burned every hut, burned this boar, burned the goat, burned you. He burned everything, and he didn't even use
It was
fireball.
just a flesh wound.
It's the first time in the history of the DM I've seen a near technical knockout of every single player without fireball, but still fire being involved. It's just those parallels in life. Like,
Oh, there was a fireball involved, if you remember, from our newest companion from at the time.
I know. I didn't expect with all the fire. They go, I'm gonna cat. No, there's flames everywhere. There's smoke into the air. There's ash everywhere. And my newest player goes, I'm gonna cast fireball in the middle
He's
of
like,
all
"When
of
in
this
doubt,
hell.
fireball."
Not wrong.
I can't say it didn't work for him, but my God, if fire was a sale, we would have been out of business. All right,
He would have hit
like
me.
I'm talking meme coin levels of worthlessness in terms of how fast we're getting rid of this fire. Like we had to overstock. This thing had to go.
It's funny because when he
And
said
those are my-
he was going to cast fireball, you said, "Could you move your fireball 15 feet to the left?" Because I was right
I literally
there.
I told the player, could you literally move 15 feet so you don't kill your ally? And they go, I guess so. like it did not click in their head at all that fireball could potentially hit other allies. They're like, oh, there's a consequence to my actions? I'm not playing a wizard.
Yeah, I remember that.
See, these are the moments that are fun because you're sharing laughter with those.
See, can I add another little thing real quick?
Please do before we wrap up.
As I can kind of like Black Devil gets this too, Dev. I record on occasion for Luck Roll and some other stuff. But I am doing other things because I'm busy. So I'll just kind of like keep an earbud in from time to time, and then I'll put it in, and then suddenly there's something going on, and I'm just like, wait, hold on. I have to like stop everything and listen and be like, what the hell is happening? My favorite thing happened just this Wednesday, and it was the Evernight. I know nothing about Evernight, and I got it mixed up with Interstellar Dystopia. I thought I was recording Interstellar. And I'm like, okay, I'm used to the behemoths. I'm used to all the zombie things. And then I just hear about a fight, and I'm just like, wait, there's other people that are alive? Wait, what's going on? So those moments where they're having like hella stuff going on, it's great when you understand what's going on. It's even better when you are just randomly and going, what? I'm sorry, huh?
Oh, Kai, I have to call one out because you called me out on that one. The Lich.
Oh,
Yes.
God. Oh, God.
I was trying not to say it, but yeah, the Lich got me because I'm just like tuning in. I'm like, I'm sorry, huh? Huh? What do you mean there's a Lich? Aren't they like level 2 or 3?
Yeah, they're in
Wait, what do
Evernight,
you
they're
mean?
level 4.
I was so lost. So there were multiple times in that time where I'm playing my Wednesday group. I'm recording the Evernight, and I just like, oh, it's a bio break or something. So I put on the earbud, making sure all of the OBS and everything is recording. And it's just like, huh? Hold on, guys. Hold of the D&D. I got to figure out what's going on over here.
I called it. I said to okay. So fun fact: I said to Warlord the other night, I want there to be a moment where Kai has to go. Hold on, guys. I know we're in the middle of a session, but I just heard some fucked up shit, and I got to understand what the hell just happened.
It happened like 3 times. Twice during bio breaks and once in the actual session. I straight up just hit mute, and I was like, "Hey guys, I'll be right back." Mute, tune in, hold on, and then I was gone for like 3 or 4 minutes as I'm just like, "What is going?" Evernight. That's why I'm so confused. And then I had to go back.
Itself,
I finished the session of my game, and then I just put on the earbud. Okay, I got to figure out what's going on, where it's going. So I had to put on my earbuds and finish listening to the session.
Oh God! Look, that whole encounter with the Lich, I designed it in such a way that no matter what the players would do, they would not die. But it's important for the session. This was the first attempt that I'd ever done at a living MacGuffin with my players. For a little backstory, they encountered a entity in the woods, right? A hulking monstrous form that appeared lichen almost, but not quite the normal lycanthrope that you're used to. Turns out this is an ally that Ali has been searching for some time, but not quite as they remember them. There was no higher function left in the body, just complete savagery. They're fighting the literal animated body, right? So they're in this combat, and they see, because one of my allies, one of the players, manages to cast a spell that makes the Lich appear because they locked onto him. They're like, here, dispel magic. The illusion is broken. Now they're no longer invisible. What they didn't realize is at that moment, I cast Translocate. So the Lich traded places with a dummy. They go to attack the Lich and nearly kill the actual person they've been trying to hunt in the first place. Because as the strike lands, the illusion magic shatters, and it's one of the people they've been searching for that's been bound up, and they take the full brunt of the hit.
I about punched him in the face.
Yep.
Oh, I know. I was
I
fully
was about to straight
expecting
up.
I was expecting a DM like, you bastard. Like, I was expecting it. I was expecting to see my computer catch fire. Like, it was
And I was like,
coming.
oh god, you're gonna kill him. It almost backfired.
No. Yeah, no, everything almost backfired. That's what makes D&D great. The screw-ups, too. So, for a little reference, in traditional faith, we believe that the mind, the body, and the soul are 3 separate pieces. I used this methodology to bring some things to lore to Evernight. The human soul, or immortal soul, has 3 components in Evernight: your body, your mind, and your soul. You can exist without one, but you need at least one. What happens when you don't have 2? The players will have to discover, because that's a mystery I'm not telling, even here. I'm dumb, but I'm not stupid. But that being said, it has
Just give
been
him a red
an
herring.
absolute wonder. I didn't just give a red herring. I gave a red herring. In fact, there was a little Freddie Jones going, red herring, over this one, okay? So there's a deep cut reference for you. But it has been an absolute wonderful honor being your host tonight, talking over some of these topics. We are going to draw an end to our first podcast here tonight. Next week, if all goes well, we'll be meeting up at the same rough time. We'll see how schedules meet, and we will go over episode 2. But for now, this has been the Sound Table Podcast. All of us from here to you at home, we wish you the greatest of luck, and may the dice forever roll in your favor. Farewell, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.